Welcome to the Couplepreneur podcast. My name is Adam.
And I'm Maggie.
And today we're talking about why couples should build an online business versus other types of business that you could choose from. And we say couplepreneurs and we're talking preachingly, but really this is the decision that we've made because we decided as we were looking through the life that we wanted to create, we wanted that freedom, we wanted that flexibility, we wanted to work from anywhere, we wanted the opportunity to work together, and we wanted something with leverage. And an online business checked all those boxes. So today we're breaking down why we think that's the case and why we chose this opportunity vehicle, and then a little bit of the business that we are creating to kind of give you some context. And yeah, we're just going to kind of go from there.
Yeah.
Ready?
Yeah. Let's
Okay.
go.
So story time. You ready, Maggie?
I'm always down for a story.
All right. So our first business was Simple Abundance Farm, where we grew organic vegetables. It gave us the chance to work together, but it didn't have the leverage or scalability we needed. We were tied to one place, one income stream, and one exhausting growing season after the other.
Yeah.
That's a very
It's so true.
true statement.
And it was very cool. Like I love, because I didn't have a business background and you did, it kind of got my foot in the door in a very, very tangible way of what business is and what entrepreneurship is. And yeah, just like how to be persuasive, how to market your vegetables, you know? I just think that was such a fundamental chapter. And I look back on it with a lot of fond memories.
Oh, yeah.
But like you said, we quickly realized this wasn't the opportunity vehicle that we wanted to continue through the rest of our whole lives.
Yeah. And one of the great benefits of something like starting a farm was that within a few, and we were growing microgreens, so our turnaround time for growth was a couple of weeks. And so within literally a couple of weeks, we were actually talking to customers, selling a product, bringing in cash. And it was an eye-opening experience that you can literally just do this. Like you can just start a business and sell stuff.
I know.
And that was kind of a big unlock because you're buying seeds, which cost almost nothing. You're grabbing dirt from the ground.
Yeah.
You're growing these microgreens in trays. And yeah, you sell them for a profit immediately.
Right.
So the challenge was that it didn't have leverage or scalability. And so we're going to talk about why we think those are really important in just a little bit. But that first entrepreneurial experience, like you said, gave us an idea of what is marketing, gave us a chance to work together and realize that this is the life that we want to have.
Yeah.
Because we called it a lifestyle for a reason.
Yeah.
It was a lifestyle business.
Yeah.
And it was so much fun.
It was so cool.
But it was also exhausting.
It was also very exhausting.
So
yeah, because you're literally going to the farmer's market every Saturday and, persuading people over and over again in different ways, you know, like, and that was really cool to like think through all the things like, okay, like how you're going to talk to people, but then also like the magic yellow tablecloth and like drawing people in,
Don't give away our secrets.
Yeah.
If you're selling at a farmer's market, use a yellow tablecloth. Your
Works every
veggies
time.
will fly.
They look beautiful.
They look good.
But yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was going to say something about that, like how it translates to the online space of just how crazy it is to have everything work so it's almost more magical than when you're doing business online because you've done it offline and you're just like, holy cow, this is so easy. I don't have to market myself over and over and over again. I just make one landing page and it does it for me. Things like that.
Giving you an example.
Yeah.
And that's leverage. We're definitely going to get into that.
We'll get into that. But
for sure. Yeah. The idea of...
I just get very excited.
Yeah. With that business, it was a constant turnaround time of you got to harvest, then you got to wash, then you got to pack, then you got to take it to market, then you got to like sell. And each individual sale was one individual transaction. And so there wasn't that opportunity to build out scale to what it was that we were doing. Yeah. And that's, we're going to definitely talk about leverage here in a little bit. So
yes, continue with the story time.
So next we joined a solar company and helped scale it from 2 million to 6 million in revenue. That was an exciting opportunity with huge growth potential and incredible talent. So just an awesome team that we were working with, but it did mean working separately. You were kind of keeping down the home front and living that life while I was doing the 9-to-5 kind of grind. Sure. And we realized that gave us a couple things. One is it showed us what leverage actually looked like. So working with a team, realizing that you could have a little bit of input and then you could have massive output once you set the ball in motion. And then also what it was just like to be in a company that was bigger than our, $50,000 a year, urban farm.
Exactly.
Which, I mean, no knock on that. Like I said, it was a great life.
Oh, sure.
But it was just different to see this type of scale, what it meant to build out systems and processes and to actually see a company grow in that way.
And for you to be in a role where you were a leader of a team and to really see like, wow, you really thrive in that role and you're really good at delegating and you're really good at visioning and strategy and, in that space. So it was really cool to see that, have that opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. So those two pieces in particular, in addition to a life filled with experience, led us to define the things that we didn't want. And I think that's almost more important sometimes than defining the life that you do want, is to say, what are the things I don't want? And then in a sense, it's easier to come up with that. So you can just reverse that and then come to something you want. So I'm going to read those really quickly and then we can kind of discuss those. So what we didn't want was a 9-to-5 schedule with no flexibility. We didn't want to be working separately without a shared vision or mission. We didn't want something with no leverage or opportunity to scale. And we didn't want something with limited financial upside. What we did want was freedom to work when and where we wanted, a shared vision we could build together, leverage, a business model that grows without trading more time for money, and significant financial upside. So Maggie, what stands out with those? And how does that relate to an online business versus anything else?
Yeah. Well, like I said, we were just talking about leverage. And then also just the ability to kind of craft our life in the way that we want to so that we can live our values in a more dynamic way. Like I think even if we were in a 9-to-5, we would still be living our values, but just the flexibility and structure to be able to craft the way that we want to move through the world. And I think as we're really in this beginning building phase of our online business, I think we both know that there's chapters of that. And so we're really, kind of hitting it hard right now, but we know that in a few years that'll really pay off and we'll be able to even have more time independence and location independence. But that's something that we're working towards. And if we don't lay that foundation now, we'll never reach that point.
Kind of as we were rolling through, we realized that the best way to check all the boxes of the things that we didn't want and did want was an online business. So the internet offers infinite possibilities and there's so many types of online businesses. So we're going to talk about the business that we are building, SAF Digital, as a branding agency, but we just want to kind of put it out there that we're not saying start this exact business that we're starting. Put this in the context of whatever opportunity vehicle that you are focusing on. But if you can check these boxes, if you want to live the life that we want to live, where you have that freedom, that flexibility, that opportunity to work together, use the information we're going to provide in your own context. So for example, it could be, paid communities. If you're really into something, start a paid community, gather a bunch of people that are really into it, and then build kind of off of that. You could do SEO and marketing agencies. Agencies are great because it's pretty much profitability right away. You can just jump into it and it's awesome. Digital products and courses, a little bit longer of an uptime. You have to build up time. You have to kind of show that you're there, that you have some expertise and kind of build from that. But this is one of our favorites. We're definitely going to talk about over time why we think digital products and courses are great. Coaching and consulting, again, you have to have some sort of expertise in this case, but if you've got that expertise and you want to build out something with your partner in that way, that's huge. And then content creation. Brand deals, sponsorships, if you want to be a YouTuber, go for it. Once you nail that skill of building an audience and being able to attract attention and understand how the psychology of people, you can really do some really fun stuff with that. So the key that we came to, and again, was what we call intentional life scaffolding, which is define the life that you actually want, and then you work backwards from there. So what life do we want? We did that by what we don't want, what we do want. And then align your relationship in that vision. And then you construct the business that supports that.
Mm-hmm.
So we chose a personal branding agency. Maggie, you want to tell me a little bit about SAF Digital?
SAF Digital. Yeah. So it is helping business owners really recognize that they're amazing and that they want to tell the world about it. And so they really they're looking to increase their surface area for luck. And we do that through LinkedIn. And so helping them really build a personal brand and get their name out there. And yeah.
We've been experimenting with how to explain it. So I like to say we help business owners share their mission.
Yeah.
Spread their message. Whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then how we do that, it's really fun. We have become proponents of this idea of content creation, of just putting yourself out there. So this podcast is a perfect example. We have connected with so many cool people all across the world through just putting ourselves out there, talking about the things that we're doing, asking them questions, giving them opportunity to share back with us the things that they're doing. And it makes the world feel smaller and bigger at the same time.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so we are living and breathing the opportunities that come from putting yourself out there. And we want to give that same opportunity to business owners, founders, agency owners that want to spread the message of how they can help people to more people, you know?
Yeah.
And so it's just like, how can we help take the insights, the knowledge, the experience that you have locked away up in there and tell the world about it? Because I think if you really believe in your product and your service, like that should be the number one thing is how can I tell more people about it? How can I help more people?
Yeah.
And so I love that we're in a helping position.
Yeah.
Like,
and I think that there's a lot of people who see the opportunity just like we saw the opportunity online, but we hadn't really dabbled in it. We were just like, kind of hesitant, but yet just knew there's so much opportunity in an online space. And so I think that's what's really fun about SAF Digital is really seeing people who are crushing it in the real world and doing amazing things, owning businesses, running teams, and then being like, okay, let's bring that into the online world and open up a whole other world of opportunity that is there, but you're just a little bit hesitant and needing someone to kind of hold your hand and guide you through that process.
Yeah.
So,
and I like to say that, so Maggie and I are maximizers, the Clifton strengths. If anyone has taken those, it kind of lists your 5 strengths, and the idea is to focus on your strengths, not necessarily your weaknesses. Just figure out what you're best at and then just go all in on that. It's actually a more effective method for growth. So we both are maximizers.
Yeah.
We like to take things that are already working and just shoot them to the moon.
Yeah.
And so even with us, going from 0 to 1 with this business has been a challenge.
Yeah.
But as we're starting to get momentum, like we can come in and start to tweak and change and maximize in all these really fun ways.
And iterate on things that we've done and built and just keep iterating.
Yeah. Absolutely. So let me go ahead and continue down with this SAF Digital because it just gives us a little bit of structure.
Yeah, sure.
And we'll talk about how it fits in with our lifestyle goals. Yeah. So for us, that business is SAF Digital. We help B2B founders grow their personal brands on LinkedIn by sharing their stories, insights, and expertise through high impact content. But the goal isn't for you to replicate our business. We talked about that. The goal is to show you how the business we're building supports our life and relationship and how you can do the same. And again, we're talking to couplepreneurs out there. So if you are have started a business with your spouse, here are some guidelines to help you either increase your leverage or think in terms of leverage opportunities. Or if you're already in the online space, or if you're not started a business and you really want to, that's really what we're trying to do is just inspire you to find out that there is cool ways that you can build cool things with your spouse.
Yeah. And I think another thing that we would love to see too, and already are, is creating a community around it so that even the topics that we share on our podcast are things that you guys are struggling with or are crushing or,
we want to learn from you too.
Yeah, exactly. So that we're creating a community around couples building businesses online together. And I think sometimes even solopreneurs, like online space is sort of a lonely space. When you have friends over for dinner, they're like, what are you doing online? You know, and it's so important, I think, for couples to come together who are building businesses, to have other couples who that you can relate to and you know what each other's talking about. And in this way.
Oh
so
my gosh, that's
anyway.
so fun. So yes, the nuts and bolts of this business model is we can work from anywhere. Love that. Yeah. Right now, we're still tied to our home just because we are trying to keep our head above water. Building this thing out. And our son's in school. But yeah, we can work from anywhere. Flexible schedule, like we get to build our own schedule. It does mean that you have to stay on top of it because deliverables are still due. But it's high margins, high profitability, especially as solopreneurs or couplepreneurs, you know, where it's just us. However, we are excited to announce that we're bringing on our first collaborator. So our first, you know, employee, or I don't know how you want to put it, but someone to come join the team and make life awesome. So we'll be talking more about that in the coming weeks. It's a service base, which means that we can have positive cash flow right away. Now, we didn't go positive cash flow right away. We actually started working for free, and that was an intentional choice for us. So for the first 2 months of our 2 to 3 months of our agency, we made $0 per month. And that was very intentional. We were laying the foundation. We were learning how to do these things, how to build content, how to write for LinkedIn, how to, just literally how to do it. We didn't have a name for this company until a couple weeks ago. It was just Adam and Maggie doing this content creation thing, you know? But that was intentional because we wanted to dive in immediately and just get started. So within a couple of days of us starting, we had clients that we were working with and we were practicing what it was to provide a deliverable. So at this point, state of the business, we have $2,000 a month reoccurring revenue. That's where we're at. We're about to launch our first kind of productized service, which is the 60-day LinkedIn Visibility Accelerator. And that is our kind of vehicle we're using as a bit of a lead magnet to get people in the door, a time-bound service that says we take you from nothing on LinkedIn to, you know, a LinkedIn presence that's going to support your business efforts, and kind of helping people understand that transition. And then from there, off the back of that, we can do like a monthly reoccurring revenue, and then also add in some lead generation tactics and a few things like that. But again, the idea there was we're able to implement now the frameworks and foundation that we built over the past few months working for free. Right. And so hopefully that growth pattern is a lot higher. I always am a fan of delayed gratification if possible. So the longer you can delay gratification, then typically the greater the upside. And so that was kind of our decision in this case. And I think one thing that we kind of thought about too is that because an online business is different from something very physical where it takes a lot to start, a lot of capital to start. We thought, okay, what we're going to do is invest in courses. We're going to invest in learning. We're going to invest in kind of time in a way and working for free to be able to really learn as much as we can to provide a really incredible service. Faster. Absolutely. So we're going to take a quick moment and say, first off, if you're finding this valuable, thank you so much. Give us a like, give us a subscribe, because we want to spread this to other couples who are interested in building an online business as well. So we want to build this network of couplepreneurs building out their $1 million online business to support their life of freedom. And we're also curious. We're learning so much through all of this. And we'd love to be able to share specific information that's valuable to those of you out there listening. So whether it's on YouTube, whether that's on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you are, get in touch with us. Go to adamandmaggie.com and you can find contact information there, or, you know, in the comments, let us know what you're struggling with or what you'd like for us to talk about. Because like I said, we're learning everything. So in our latest newsletter, we have a poll that you get to decide, you know, what things that we're learning about that you would like us to talk about more. So whether it's building landing pages, copywriting, like the actual nuts and bolts, how we do it, email automations and calendar integrations, creating an offer stack, finding talent to collaborate with or hire. Those are just a few of the things that we are learning about and we're excited to share. So let us know what of those is most intriguing to you, and maybe we can talk about those in a future episode. So what we've learned so far. Starting an online business has already been an incredible experience, but it's reinforced one key lesson. Define the life you want first, then build the business that supports it.
Mm-hmm.
I can just imagine us wanting to work together again and jumping back into farming and how that would get us 60% of the way there. But that last 40 would just be achingly, not what we want.
Yeah. We both said that.
So yeah, paint me a picture, Maggie, of that life. Get me inspired.
Yeah.
What do you want?
I want to be on a beach somewhere.
Yeah.
With you and our kids playing in the ocean and having done some work, maybe back at the place that we were staying, done some work in the morning, and then get to adventure all day, teach our kids about where we're at in some really cool space and location and meet people and know that we have a business that's working for us as we're doing these other things. And also know that we have a community back at home, that we have a space to travel and do these things. But to really know that we've put in the work and we've put in the time to create systems and set up a business that is running and working for us. As we're able to explore the world.
Yeah.
With our family.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know there's always that dream of travel.
Yeah.
And it feels somewhat cliche. But I think really what it comes down to is the freedom to travel. And then through that freedom, you can, in essence, have freedom to then do anything you want because it means you have the capital or the funds to be able to afford the travel. You have the time and flexibility in order to facilitate the travel. And so whether you're traveling or not, when you have those two boxes checked, the freedom and flexibility and, the resources to be able to, you can even just be, not traveling and still have that sense of peace and calm.
Yeah. And I think another thing that I really am excited about is with SAF Digital, doing something that's my dream, but it's also helping facilitate that dream for other people too. And I think that's really
There's
fun.
a helpful aspect to it.
Which is really exciting. And I also think with the Couplepreneur, another piece of my dream is just to be able to hop on a call, even if we're home or if we're traveling, to hop on a call with other couples. And just really sit down and dive into workshops together or conversation together where we're, doing a mastermind where one couple's bringing a challenge or a success and another couple's bringing a challenge and a success. And we kind of talk about those things. And it's just a space where you get to feel like you're not alone in it. And you also get to be inspired by other couples. And maybe your dream becomes even bigger and different. And possibilities that you didn't even think were possible are becoming possible. And so that's really what I hope. The more that we wake up each day and do this work, that's what I'm shooting for. And then this morning, you had a really good definition of success. You were like, Maggie, I think I'm going to change my definition of success. And this is always, I think, a really funny thing that like people are always talking about on the internet or in workshops. It's like, define what success means to you. But I really loved what you said this morning. And if you could share that.
Yeah. So I have defined success. So first off, I love my life. I love
Me too.
I love learning about the things that we're learning. I love building something with you. So I was like, well, if I were to define success, it would essentially be, can I wake up tomorrow and continue to live this life? So can I wake up tomorrow and continue to learn about building a brand online and creating content and helping others and connecting? Can I wake up tomorrow and have a quote unquote business meeting with you over coffee at 6 a.m. as we're just sitting around, hanging out? Can I wake up in the morning and stay home in order to be there with Arlo and Eva, our kids, while still, making an impact in our business and and living this like blended work-life balance. So if success for me now is just the ability to continue. So every day I wake up and I get the opportunity to continue down this path.
That's
happy.
success.
That's success. And yes, we have our ultimate vision of where we would like to be and like goals and steps and processes to get there.
Yeah.
But ultimately, every day that I get to continue down this path is a day of success.
It's a day. Yeah. And I think it's cool because those dreams that we have, those are just moments on the path.
Yeah.
And so continuing the path every day and getting to do what we want to do together is success. I love that.
It's so cool. All right. Well, thank you so much for listening. Do us a favor. Seriously, if you could just please subscribe, give us a like, ring the bell, leave a review, wherever you're at. It does help spread the message. Again, we're trying to have that impact where we can gather our tribe of couples who are on the same path of building a business and sharing their journey. And I think the more that we can create that sense of community around this concept, the better we're all going to be, the better we can support each other. So if you're not subscribed to the newsletter, go to adamandmaggie.com, subscribe for that, where we're going to be sharing all kinds of fun things about the journey we're on and tips and tricks for building your own $1 million online business. And yeah.
That's a wrap.
And Eva's still asleep.
We have to like silently celebrate. Oh my word.
I'm not going to silent. I'm going to shout this to the rooftop. Yeehaw.
We can wake her up now. Everything's fine. She smiled in her sleep. Yeah.
Okay.
I love it.
Thanks for sitting down, Maggie.
Absolutely. Thanks, Adam. I love you too.
It's cool that we get to say I love you to my podcast partner.
I know.
My host.
I know.
Co-host. That's the beauty of a couple.
That's the beauty of a couplepreneur.
At the end of every business meeting, you to say, I love you.
Love you.
All right. Thanks so much. Bye.
Bye.